Okay, so when I finished off that last recording session, I did not quite have the freedom to speak. But now I certainly do, and yeah, this is... I'm proud of this, honestly. This looks amazing so far. There's definitely some work that can be done yet, like, I need to darken some of these blocks I'm using for holding the light sources up. But overall, I'm quite proud of all of these results. And, at this rate, it's not going to be too long before I actually complete this. So, you may be wondering what the next step is, because this is already pretty huge. But there's a lot of open space that's just not taken up by NPCs at all. And yeah, that's because I wanted some really good set dressing for this. I mean, I wanted it to be a snowy mountain hot spring. I wanted that authentic Japanese feel to it. And so far, I think I've done well, including using mahogany to essentially create the wood of a leafless sakura tree that I've now covered in ice. But I think I can actually do better than that. I do have one trick in mind. The blue solution that spreads the hallow. This is going to have some interesting results. And now, it's perfect. I mean, just look at that. So now, not only is it a leafless sakura tree covered in ice, I've now made it pink ice to make it look even more like a sakura tree. That is beautiful, and it adds a nice little touch of extra color that I think this build really needed, and I can't believe I didn't consider it when working on this before. But I love the results, and I'm definitely glad I went with that. Very, very nice. But now, we need to work on the next NPC house. And in this case, I've already got the two of them moved in over here. I'm going to be creating a fully scaled workshop house for the engineer and the tinkerer. And one of the more interesting things about that is going to be that I'm going to continue the steam power theme that I have going with the steampunker over here. When you have a hot spring and a nice volcanic power source, you're gonna want to continue to use that geothermal energy, especially out here in the tundra. And you know the engineer and the tinkerer would not pass that opportunity up. So, I'm definitely incorporating that into their build. How exactly I'm going to do so, the exact details on it, I haven't the slightest clue yet. But I'll figure something out. Okay, so I'd say this house for the engineer and Goblin Tinkerer turned out pretty good. I mean, I've always got to keep these two paired together. It's literally canon to the game that they've got a thing for each other, so why not just set them up? So, of course, I've got a pretty sizable home to fit the two of them. They've got a rather large workshop in, because you're going to have two scientists of different fields working together. You got to give them enough space to work with. Of course, for the engineer, I've got a pretty sizable workspace with a lot of storage for all the different components she'll be working with. And then down here, for the Tinkerer, I've gone ahead and created this really complex-looking forge that will help with his reforging and upgrading. And then tucked under the stairs here, I have a nice little desk space with a computer. And then up here, I wanted to go with a very rustic, steampunk-styled sort of bathroom. You know, with both of them being very mechanically inclined people, they would just love that aesthetic. And then we just have some very cozy spaces for the living room and their bedroom. I've only just realized that I didn't leave any space for them to cook. I guess I should probably fix that. But at the same time, I don't really see these two cooking too much. Because let's be honest, a lot of more scientifically inclined people tend to not be very good at cooking. I've known a good number of engineers in my life, and a lot of them were pretty bad at it. And then, of course, up here, I've got a satellite for all their research. And then out here, I gave them their own little private hot spring pond with a fully living and gorgeously bloomed sakura tree right here. Overall, I really love how this one turned out, and now there's only one NPC house left to build here to complete it. Which isn't even really a necessary one for me to get into, but I left goals for me to build one for every NPC, and that's what I'm gonna do. The next one is going to be very different and kind of simple, though, because, well, you'll see why when I get there. There's only one NPC for the Tundra left, and it's one that doesn't even spawn this time of year. I'm on the exact opposite end of the year for him to work. But hey, it'll be nice to have a little place for Santa to come home to whenever I'm playing this in, like, 10 months. Who knows, I'll probably still be working on this world then. So, let's jump into that. Okay, so, bit of a simple build, and it feels a little empty for a couple of reasons. There's some stuff that I definitely want to put into this house that I kind of can't, because I just don't have access to them this time of year. Eventually, they will pop up again, and when they do, I'll come back and finish this. But for now, this will have to do for Mr. Claus's place. Eventually, when the holiday season rolls around again, I'll be able to get some paintings fitting for this location and slip them in here. But for now, this place seems pretty comfortable. Made sure to fit in a nice Christmas tree. Of course, the pole itself sitting on top of his house and is kind of sticking straight up through it. Cozy little fireplace. Definitely a very hospitable home despite the isolation of it, but that's to be expected of this man. So, with his place done, as well as the engineer, the tinkerer, and the steampunker, and this whole hot spring resort here in wonderful condition, I'd say this build is complete. Ladies and gentlemen, my Tundra town is done. But now the question comes as to what I'm doing next. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, my next move is going to be to move all of these NPCs into spare rooms scattered around all of my towns, so I can demolish everything here and start working on my Colosseum. But for now, this is probably where I'm going to cut an episode. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Envoy of Kairos, signing out, and I'll see you all again very soon for another episode, in which I will be absolutely destroying my original spawn town. Later. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're looking to support me a little further, maybe get some bonus content, or just keep up with me and other fans, you can find links down in the description leading to my Patreon, my Discord, and my Twitter. And, if you're following me on Patreon, then you can expect some content polls to decide what's coming up on the channel yet. A little bit of background additions to some other series I've been working on, some more original and creative stuff. And who knows, if enough of you start supporting me soon, I might have a few other surprises up my sleeve too. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all again on the next video.